teve muitos agentes, blackjacks, bluejacks, greenjacks, enfim, que falaram sobre dicas, estratégias de como eles fazem, como que eles aplicam no dia a dia deles, e foi simplesmente transformador, emocionante demais. What's up, guys? Como é que tá? Tudo jóia? Aqui é o Phil Siqueira e hoje vai ser um vídeo super especial porque eu vou estar fazendo uma cobertura completa de um evento da Alliance Group. Inclusive, vocês podem ver, eu tô aqui, tô num quarto de hotel. Foi pago 100% pela Alliance Group, que eles estão fazendo mais um ano esse evento, que é o Five Rings Alliance Academy. Nesse vídeo, eu vou falar com muitas pessoas que você com certeza vai querer ouvir um pouquinho do que eles vão falar para vocês. E também vai ser um evento que pela primeira vez, tá? Isso nunca aconteceu antes, esse evento nunca foi gravado e pela primeira vez você vai assistir isso de primeira mão, esse evento que começa hoje, né? A gente vai ter daqui a pouco às 6 horas da tarde as boas-vindas, né? Daqui a pouco, agora são 5h19 do dia 25 de julho e amanhã e terça-feira são dias de treinamento. A gente vai treinar muito para poder aprender cada vez mais e é isso que eu quero falar para você também. É super importante essa mensagem que eu quero deixar para você sobre trabalhar com empresas, trabalhar com pessoas que te dão um apoio, um ensinamento, te dão treinamento, apoio moral. Aqui, ó, como vocês podem ver, tô aqui no quarto de hotel, onde a Alliance com a Five Rings pagou tudo, tá? Eu não gastei um centavo para estar aqui, inclusive a comida, a bebida, e tudo isso é feito com muito amor e muito carinho. Hoje eu já tive a oportunidade de encontrar várias pessoas lá no saguão, inclusive no avião que eu vim saindo de Boston, encontrei várias pessoas, o Fernando tava lá no avião, o Sieder também tava com a gente, a Bianca também foi no mesmo avião, a Elin, que é a esposa também do Fernando, e não foi combinado, foi tudo coincidência, e é super legal de ter encontrado essas pessoas assim, porque isso significa que nós estamos crescendo, né? Que esse time da Five Rings Financial está crescendo cada vez mais aqui nos Estados Unidos e nós estamos alcançando cada vez mais, chegando próximo do nosso objetivo, nosso sonho, que é levar a educação financeira para os brasileiros aqui nos Estados Unidos. E você que acha que não pode, você acha que não consegue, fique esperto que hoje eu vou falar com várias pessoas e vou provar para vocês que você também pode, assim como eu. Estar aqui hoje para mim é uma honra, é um prazer. Quando eu recebi um convite, chegou lá no meu e-mail o Mike, que é o nosso CEO da Five Rings, convidando para estar participando desse evento. Foi simplesmente mágico para mim estar podendo ter essa oportunidade e você também pode, então fica ligado que o evento vai começar e eu vou lá embaixo mostrar tudinho pra vocês hoje, começando pela cobertura. E aí, galera? Como é que tá?
Estamos aqui na luta, trabalhando, aproveitando a vida.
Aproveitando a vida e trabalhando?
Ganhando dinheiro, ajudando os clientes, treinando a Bruna.
Parabéns. E aí, qual que é a expectativa para hoje, ô Fê?
A expectativa é sempre grande, né? É bom estar aqui reunido com toda a galera, toda a empresa está aqui, todas as seguradoras, né? Representantes.
Legal.
E vamos mostrar a nossa força aí, aprender.
Primeira vez que você veio no evento?
É a segunda vez.
Segunda vez, você esteve aqui no ano passado também.
É, o ano passado.
Legal, é isso aí.
É isso aí, bom te ver aqui.
Bom te ver. Ó, tudo aquele pessoal que estão ali, pessoal, tudo Five Rings. Só que são o pessoal americano, porque diferente, você que já conhece, que já ouviu falar sobre a Five Rings, pensa que é uma empresa de brasileiros, quando na verdade não, é uma empresa americana, né? Só que os brasileiros começou tudo com o Gustavo Couto, a Marina, e estourou. porque a nossa comunidade, os brasileiros são pessoas unidas e o nosso trabalho, a nossa missão, ela é muito íntima, né? Então acaba nós nos intimidando ali e falando, querendo levar cada vez mais para nossa comunidade essas informações, essa educação financeira que muitos de nós precisamos. Eu acho que todos, na verdade, precisam, e como nós brasileiros nos destacamos nessa questão da afinidade, de um carinho pelo outro, a agência Brazilionaires, que ela está dentro da Five Rings, né? É como se fosse um braço ali, um membro, foi um apelido carinhoso que foi dado para a agência. Então os brasileiros se destacaram no mercado. Então vamos lá, vou subir lá pro evento para poder ver como é que tá o pessoal, quem já tá lá, e fazer mais vídeo para vocês. Fica ligado. E é isso aí, agora são 6h38, daqui a pouco isso aqui vai estar cheio, tá? Pela primeira vez também, unicamente de todos esses anos que tem o evento aqui, eu não sei exatamente quantos anos que a Alliance faz esse evento aqui junto com a Five Rings em Atlanta, mas pela primeira vez nós temos 55 brasileiros representantes do nosso país aqui nos Estados Unidos, 55 líderes, pessoas que foram convocadas por essas empresas centenárias a estar aqui, tá? Então, assim, é muito motivo para se orgulhar da nossa comunidade, dos nossos brasileiros nos Estados Unidos, e eu sinto muita honra de poder estar participando hoje aqui também desse evento. Olha só quem tá aqui!
Aí, Phil?
O grande patrono. Eu tava falando de você agora.
Prazer, bem-vindos, Brazilionaires aqui, ó.
Gustavo, eu tava conversando com a Mary Fisher about a história que aconteceu com vocês. E pra quem não conhece ainda, isso aqui é o Gustavo Conta, é o patrono, eu sou grato a você pela...
Eu que sou grato por você confiar na gente, todos confiarem na gente, estarem aqui com a gente.
Obrigado pela oportunidade. Fala pra mim, Gustavo, quantas vezes, eu tava com uma dúvida no pessoal pra fazer esse vídeo, quantas vezes esse evento já aconteceu sem os Brazilionaires, no total?
Esse evento acontece desde que a Five Rings começou. Então a Five Rings tem 17 anos, isso aqui acontece há 17 anos. Eu estava conversando com o Paulo, a primeira vez que nós viemos, veio só eu e a Marina. Depois, no outro ano, viemos 5 brasileiros.
Uau.
E agora, 4 anos depois, são 55.
55 brasileiros.
Mudamos, né?
E isso não é só números, isso é uma questão de mudança, transformação na vida de várias pessoas, vários brasileiros aqui nos Estados Unidos.
Mudando a cara da comunidade nos Estados Unidos.
Mudando a cara da comunidade, e eu sou grato, Gustavo, por estar tendo a oportunidade, através do canal do YouTube, através do meu trabalho, de poder estar levando educação financeira para nossa comunidade.
Com certeza, isso é muito bom, muito importante.
E de conhecer vocês também, a energia é fantástica aqui do pessoal.
Muito legal, bem-vindo.
Valeu, obrigado. É isso aí.
Vamos nessa.
Gustavo, obrigado. E aí, como é que tá, Maria?
Olha a sua energia nessa sala. Todo mundo chegando, sendo recepcionado, bem-vindos.
Muito bem-vindo. O pessoal que tá aqui há 10 anos, o pessoal que tá aqui é o segundo evento, o meu é o primeiro, e eu quero agradecer.
O que eu falei de energia?
Muita energia. E eu quero agradecer, Marina, pela oportunidade. E pra quem ainda, eu acho difícil o pessoal não te conhecer, mas quem não te conhece, fala um pouquinho de onde que você veio, o que você faz.
Eu sou Marina Couto, como ele estava falando. Eu e o Gustavo começamos a agência Brazilionaires há 7 anos atrás. Nós estamos nos Estados Unidos há 22 anos. Esse evento acho que é o nosso 4º ou 5º. E esse é o nosso grupo, é a nossa família. A gente começou essa empresa e essa agência com o intuito de ajudar os brasileiros a prosperar aqui nos Estados Unidos. Tá dando certo.
Tá dando certo.
56 pessoas convidadas para esse evento.
56 pessoas.
56 pessoas convidadas por mérito do que fizeram no ano passado para esse evento, para receber treinamento, para crescer ainda mais, para se preparar ainda mais para ajudar nossos clientes.
Exatamente, eu tava falando, Marina, a felicidade de ver 55 brasileiros aqui trabalhando com a educação financeira e levando mudança para a vida de muitos brasileiros aqui nos Estados Unidos.
imagina em 55 de 130. Ou seja, quase metade das vagas por mérito foram para os brasileiros.
Impressionante. Se você não sabe o que é isso, continua acompanhando os vídeos aí que você vai saber um pouco mais se as coisas não fazem um pouco de sentido para você.
Daqui até o final dessa cobertura do filme, você vai saber tudo sobre a carreira financeira.
Tudo que você tem que saber. Inclusive também, Marina, como é que faz? É possível o pessoal estar aqui junto com a gente, participando, os brasileiros que moram aqui nos Estados Unidos e estão cansados de trabalhar no que eles fazem. É possível estar aqui compartilhando com a gente?
É mais que possível. Todas as pessoas que estão aqui passaram pelo mesmo programa de treinamento, que hoje em dia é 100% online em português. E todo mundo pode participar, só querer, é só dar o primeiro passo.
Dar o primeiro passo
e todo mundo daqui, olha, eu acho que esse 99,9% não tinha experiência nenhuma na área financeira antes. Todo mundo veio de outros backgrounds e é isso que faz o nosso grupo tão rico e possível, que consegue se conectar com todas as pessoas por aí, porque nós viemos de onde vocês vieram.
Exatamente. E olha só, aqui com as pessoas, o grupo, a família Five Rings, a família Brasileiros, vai te ensinar passo a passo de muitas coisas. Você não precisa se preocupar, porque eu sou experiência prova viva. Eu tô há 90 dias, 60 dias e o amor, o carinho que vocês têm pela gente, todos, um grupo em geral, é impressionante. Eu nunca senti essa energia numa empresa como que eu sinto aqui com vocês.
A gente se apoia muito, não só no treinamento oficial, nos sistemas que a gente tem, mas todo mundo está sempre disponível para tirar uma dúvida, para te ajudar, para te dar uma motivação. O grupo inteiro e todo mundo vibra verdadeiramente no sucesso do outro.
Na vida, muito mais do que profissionalmente, na vida. As pessoas aqui eu vejo um vibrando pelo sucesso do outro pessoal.
É verdade.
Obrigado, Marina, obrigado mesmo.
Obrigada a você, vamos aproveitar.
E é isso aí, vamos lá. Fica aí que vai ter muito mais.
Bom, então, a gente está conversando aqui a respeito, né, de como a gente, essa turma, esse pessoal, né, que chegou lá, aí o Blackjack da vida. E eu não fiz ideia.
O que é o Blackjack?
Porque
tem gente que não sabe o que é.
O Blackjack é o seguinte, são categorias da empresa, onde você vai crescendo de comissão, de, vamos dizer assim, de patamar dentro da empresa. E conforme você vai produzindo, você vai criando uma cor. Começa com 60 mil, né, 60 mil dólares de produção, você chega a VIP da empresa, que é o Blue Jack. Aí depois vai o Red Jack, o vermelho, depois vem o verde, depois vem o porco, o roxo, e lá então com 90%, que é o máximo de produção da empresa, ao Black Jack. Então assim, é uma maneira de você aprender assim, ter etapa, porque você não chega na empresa sem saber nada, né? Então são momentos que você aprende a valorizar cada step que você está chegando e continuar a jornada e fazer aí, proteger os milhares, né, de pessoas que realmente precisam entender um pouco mais sobre finanças, proteger o seu patrimônio, ter uma aposentadoria na América e ter uma vida mais estável no futuro, uma vida mais de sucesso. Então assim, essa é a nossa missão, viver mudando vidas, que é isso que a gente faz, né, Felipe?
É isso aí, Gil. Bom dia! Segunda-feira, dia 26 de julho, e vai ser o primeiro dia oficial de evento. Chegando aqui no saguão, olha só a galera já toda pronta, tomando café. Buenos dias, muchachos. Bom dia. E aí, mano, bom dia.
Bom dia, cara.
O que você tá comendo de bom aí, velho?
Café da manhã, olha só. Baconzinho, ovinho.
Como foi sua noite, Rick?
Foi boa.
Boa? Cama gostosa, né, mano?
Muito boa.
É isso aí, a gente se vê por aí. Tô aqui com o Elinho. E aí, mano?
E aí, bom dia, como vai?
Como foi ontem?
Pô, show de bola, muito bom.
Primeiro evento que você veio aqui, primeiro ano?
Primeiro ano, recepção espetacular, todo mundo com uma energia positiva, todo mundo com a energia lá em cima, comida de qualidade, foi uma recepção muito boa, foi muito bom estar junto de todo mundo. Principalmente de você, Phil.
Eu que agradeço, mano. Ô, Elinho, e aí, o que você tá esperando agora pro Alliance Academy?
Agora às 8h30 nós começaremos um treinamento intenso e até o final do dia, todo dia, de muito conhecimento, muita coisa. E como nós costumamos dizer, né, saímos daqui de um machado afiado.
Aí sim.
Já continuar produzindo com melhor qualidade lá fora.
Daqui a pouco a gente tá indo lá pro treinamento e eu vou filmar tudo pra vocês.
So let's give it up for Siqueira.
Hoje é dia de agradecimento.
First of all, this is a day of gratitude.
Agradecimento, inclusive, por eu poder aqui falar no meu idioma.
I'm thankful that I can be up here and speaking my language.
Não apenas pela facilidade que as memórias ou que a comunicação vem até a mim, mas também porque nós estamos representando milhões de pessoas que estão nesse país, buscando uma vida melhor.
Not just because it's easier for me and the memories and the words come easier, but because it allows me to represent millions of people in this country.
Então é um privilégio e espero que de alguma maneira eu possa ajudar vocês no desenvolvimento das suas carreiras.
It's a privilege, and I just hope that I can help in some way to help further your career.
One more time for Siqueira. Well, I'm going to introduce you now, Executive Vice President Rickson and Bianca Mora, who this year, if everything stays on pace, will make over $1 million this year.
Now we're looking for $1 million a month, right? Do you think it's possible, Mike? Million a month? I like the theme. We created a new word, Camille, Fred, and I. Resilience to brilliance. It sounds Brazilians. You know? Together we're better, right? It's true. I have two stories to tell you today. The first one started like 3 years ago when I visited a friend, and he was not at home. He was working, and I sat down with her, and they were struggling financially. So I helped them doing the financial funnel, and we found $200 on their budget. So we used this $200 to fund $100 IOL for each one of them, for him and for her. Back then, they used to, you know those bundle insurance that you get with your car, with your home, and then a life insurance that you get from those companies? They had those bundle insurance. And they had a death benefit insurance that they were paying like $18 for her and $20-some for him. So they said, she asked me, do you think should I cancel that? And then, we're gonna put towards our retirement account, because she was like, oh, that's the only thing I do not have as of yet. It's a retirement account. It's a program where we could accumulate money for our future. But I said, you only have $100. Like, it's very little, you know. She was 42, he was 45 back then. And I said, no, $18 and $24. Keep paying them. Do not cancel. You have a death insurance. It was $250 each. The face amount, $250,000. Keep that, and then let's do the $100 each. When you guys have more money, we'll increase that. And you guys are healthy. They were like, oh, we're super healthy. We're good. And I'm looking for another job. Blah 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 blah. Life, right? We're always trying to get that. Did I say that with the $100 we bought 100,000 face amount for each one? No. I said? No? Okay, so it's 100,000 face amount, not too much money. But we had, we had the hope to increase that into the future, right? Yeah. Last month, he was 48 years old, and he was diagnosed with COVID. So he fought COVID during 40 days. He was hospitalized. He had 2 sudden cardiac arrests, pneumonia. He was in coma. I do believe he was in coma twice. Went to coma, got out of coma, went to coma again. and unfortunately, he passed. And then I helped her doing the death benefit claim, and the help that I gave her with the process with National Life, she used it to do with State Farm as well. So she got, all that money, all the checks. I'm telling you this story because there is a lesson in there for us who are in the field. It's not every policy that we have to replace, So it's a huge responsibility. I would feel like really bad today if I had tell her, cancel the State Farm policy, $18, let's put $118 on your IUL. You wouldn't make that difference today. But she was fortunate enough to receive $350,000, $100,000 from National Life Group, which the process was way faster and way simpler than with the State Farm. She was like, oh my goodness, Rickson. Since the day we submitted the paperwork, 11 days later, the money was on my bank account. So thank you National Life, Lindsay, great. So that's the lesson, even for myself, right? We don't have to replace every policy that we see on daily basis, right? And the second story is also 3 years ago. It happened to be 3 years ago. A friend of ours, Bianca and I, she came from Brazil to here with 3 kids. So single mom, 3 kids, came to America, and she was always working, right, to feed 3 mouths. And I've been inviting her to Money 101, to the events. She would never able to come, never, always an excuse. And then I said, Dani, you're a mother of 3. You need to take a look what we do here. It's gonna be great for you. You need to get this information. And she was always like, oh, the next one I'll go. I'll go on the next one. I'll go on the next one. She got married to this guy called, named Jeff. So she got married to Jeff, and they were a beautiful family. Jeff adopted like her daughters like he was his. Her little daughter actually was calling him dad, So beautiful family. She never attended, the Money 101s. 4 months ago, at the beginning of this year, Jeff had a stroke, and he was in the emergency room. Dani called Bianca and said, Dani called Bianca. Bianca was like, oh, why Dani's calling me? So, and then she was like, Bianca, let me ask you something. There is still time to do that policy? And Bianca was like, why are you asking if there is still time? Right? When someone is asking, there is still time, it's because something happened. And then she said, why are you saying there is still time? And then she said, oh, he had a stroke. And the lawyer suggests go find a life insurance as soon as possible. But it was too late, right? Unfortunately, he also passed. And, she didn't have 100,000 or 250,000. The story now was different. She had to do GoFundMe. She had to do to ask money from church, her parents, and everybody else. But fortunately now, last week she was in a Money 101, and then she was like, Rickson, I lived that, right? So I'm a life proof that things happen, okay? So I'm gonna get over it, and I want to work with you guys. So I said, yes, okay, let's do that. I want to show you how do I do an equity presentation. I think I've done this in the past, but there's people here who have never seen. I'm gonna show you how do I present the IUL. And it's been working amazing, right? I think it's really simple, the idea, and you can show everything combined. Even though, I was talking to Gustavo, even though when I after Money 101, when I sit down with someone that they say that they're most interested on living benefit, I show them this safe. We call it the safe, okay? So this is the safe. I do this, and I say, hey, And one thing that I say, when the new agent starts, when the new consultants begin, we're often killing our clients, right? Like, imagine if you die. Imagine if you get cancer. Imagine if you have a stroke. The person goes like, oh my goodness, I'm not having none of that. I don't want to imagine that. So don't use that. Use like a third person. I'm calling Bob all the time, right? So
Unless his name is Bob.
Yeah, unless the name is Bob, right? Then I say Jenny, whatever. But, you know, in the Brazilian community, there's not many Bobs, so we use Bob. So imagine this is Bob's safe, not yours, okay? And Bob is funding $100 a week, which is like $400 a month. Brazilians are weird, you know, $100 a week is possible, but $400 a month is like too much money. So we used to say, $100 a week, okay? $100 a week, Bob put in his safe. But when he first funds, on the first payment, on the first deposit that he does, the safe creates, I call this a total value. So it creates a total value. Let's say this total value is 500,000, right? Why is it important to Bob to have this total value? In case of he's diagnosed with a terminal illness, he can access up to 90% of this amount. This is a strategy that we use to put in place for a foundation financial, okay? What if he gets a critical illness? He can get up to 80% of this amount. What if he has a chronic illness? Then I explain to them what it is. You guys know what it is. But I explain to them what it is, okay? A chronic illness, and then I say 1 to 2% for 50 months of this amount, okay? And in case of death, he will leave an inheritance, okay? 100%. So that's how I explain the IUL, right? And then I said, let's say Bob doesn't die or doesn't get sick. None of that happens. What's gonna happen is, because of the compound interest, because at this point, I already showed the 3 ingredients to make money, the dots and lines, you know, S&P 500 or Credit Suisse, whatever you choose to do. This is my last napkin presentation. Then I said, none of this is gonna happen. He will accumulate a lot of money into his safe with the compound interest feature to double his money. And by the age of retirement, he will have a pile of money. Put 66 here to create the expectation that we're gonna fund this until we're 66. Unless they are 60 years old, then I put like 96 or something. No, 66. And then I said, he will have accumulated value, okay? Accumulated amount. If he accesses this amount, that is capital gains, he will pay taxes on the capital gains. But if Bob is smart enough, he will access something called lifetime income. Then I write lifetime income. Then I do, which is awesome. This is the word that I like to write the most, tax-free. And then the person's like, oh wow, this is awesome. And I say, wait, there is more. I call this program a safe, because the money is safe from creditors, lawsuit, bankruptcy, and taxes. So it's really a safe, right? So that's how that's how we present the IUL, and that's how it's been working great. But I want to leave you with this idea. You can do like 8, maybe 10 of these napkin presentations daily if you work. I've been working 8 hours straight, right? 9 hours. If you have clients to do it, you know, one client, now you don't have to drive, it's all via Zoom. So thanks, Andre, for creating Zoom. You can see 8 clients a day, 7, 8. I know Fernando's been doing 8, 10 meetings a day. So I was like, good pace. but we only have 24 hours a day, right? You guys only have 24 hours as well, or just? What's the only finite resource that we have? It's time, right? Do you want to have 240 hours a day? How many people could you reach if you had 240 hours a day? How many people? A lot of more people, right? If you build a team of 10 people, then you have 240 hours a day. Okay? If you want to have 480 hours a day, contract 10 more people. 20 people will increase your only finite resource in this world, and that's how you're going to make $1 million a month. See, Mike? Take notes.
This is better than a cardiac test? Test your heart if it's really good. I think that's what I got. You really test your heart. That's right.
Wow. Translate, please.
Wow.
Translate.
Wow in English.
Que dia maravilhoso.
What a wonderful day.
Muito bom poder estar aqui com vocês.
It's so good to be here with all of you.
Saibam que vocês são incríveis.
Know that you're all incredible.
Todos vocês.
All of you.
Obrigado por estar aqui hoje.
Thank you for being here.
Eu ainda não sei se eu estou dormindo, se eu estou sonhando, se eu estou acordado.
I'm not sure if I'm asleep, I'm dreaming, if I'm awake.
Mas eu não sei vocês, mas a maioria dos meus sonhos, eu sonho colorido.
I don't know about you, but the majority of my dreams, I dream in color.
Todas as vezes que eu relembro de um sonho e vejo cores,
And every time that I remember a dream and I see the colors,
eu enxergo a vida.
I see life.
Todas as vezes que eu enxergo no meu sonho cores,
Every time that I see in a dream colors,
eu vejo abundância.
I see abundance.
Esse é o mundo que vivemos hoje.
This is the world that we live in today.
Vivemos um mundo de abundância,
We live in a world of abundance,
apesar da desigualdade.
despite some inequalities.
Depois de 4 anos morando aqui na América,
After 4 years living here in America,
eu percebi que todo imigrante como eu
I realized that every immigrant like me
chega aqui com 2 coisas:
arrives here with 2 things,
grande sonho
a big dream
e alguma experiência de vida.
and some experience in life.
O meu caso não foi diferente.
It was not different for me.
Chegamos aqui em 2017.
We got here in 2017,
Eu, a minha esposa, minha sócia,
me, my wife, my partner,
e a nossa filha Sofia, que na época tinha 2 anos.
and our daughter Sophia, that was 2 years old at the time.
Nós viemos passar as férias em Miami.
We came here for vacation in Miami.
Esse era o nosso plano.
That was our plan.
Mas o plano de Deus prevaleceu.
But God's plan was prevailed.
Em apenas 2 meses de férias,
In this 2 months of vacation,
que o meu plano era viver um ano sabático,
my plan was to have a sabbatic year, a gap year,
porque eu precisava me permitir
because I wanted to allow myself
me reencontrar,
to find myself again,
buscar energias
get my energy replenished,
para voltar para o Brasil
to go back to Brazil
e me reinventar profissionalmente.
and reinvent myself professionally.
Mas o plano de Deus prevaleceu.
But God's plan prevailed.
Em apenas 2 meses de férias,
In just 2 months after we were here on
eu recebi
vacation,
convite
I received an invitation
para ser sócio de uma empresa do ramo imobiliário.
to be partners in a real estate company.
Eu agradeci o convite
thanked them for the invitation.
Mas recusei porque eu quis ficar de férias.
Declined it because I wanted to stay on vacation.
No mês seguinte, eu conheci um advogado de imigração.
The following month, I met an immigration attorney.
E contei a minha história para ele. Ele me disse que eu seria capaz de ter um green card.
And I told him my story, and he said that I could definitely get a green card.
Aí eu fui ao banco, saquei o dinheiro e paguei para ver.
So I went to the bank, I got the money, and I paid him up to see what he could do.
Na hora que eu entreguei o dinheiro para ele, eu disse:
When I gave him the money, I said,
quero ver se você é bom mesmo.
I really want to see if you're that good.
Ele respondeu:
And he said,
você está com dúvida de mim?
you don't believe me?
Eu falei: não, eu tenho dúvida da minha história.
No, I believe you, I don't believe my story.
Em menos de 90 dias,
In less than 90 days later,
nós tínhamos a nossa permissão de trabalho aqui na América.
we had our work permit here in this country.
Esse foi o plano de Deus.
That was God's plan.
Nesse dia, eu parei e pensei e vi que ali era um grande chamado, o nosso chamado. Deus estava nos chamando para uma missão aqui na América.
And that day, I thought about it, and I realized that there was a calling, that God was calling us for His plan here in America.
Eu olhei para cima e falei: papai, eu aceito essa missão.
I looked up and I said, Dad, I'll take the mission.
Mas eu vou precisar da sua ajuda.
But I'm gonna need your help.
Não foi fácil. Aos 45 anos de idade, casado com essa moça, com uma criança de 2 anos, ter que me reinventar profissionalmente num país onde eu mal sei falar a língua.
It wasn't easy, being 45 years old, married to this wonderful woman, having a daughter that was only 2 years old at the time, to find myself having to reinvent myself in a country where I can't even really speak the language.
Mas eu segui adiante.
But I went forward.
Por incrível que pareça, Ele me deu tudo que eu precisava.
And unbelievably, He gave me everything that I needed.
Ele me deu 2 coisas. Primeiro, sabedoria.
He gave me 2 things. First, wisdom.
E a segunda coisa, humildade.
And second, let me be humble, humility.
A sabedoria foi para eu poder fazer as melhores escolhas.
The wisdom to make the best choices.
E a humildade para recomeçar do zero.
And the humility to start again from zero.
Digo para vocês que às vezes a gente tem que dar um passo para trás para dar 2 para frente.
I'll tell you that sometimes you have to take a step back so that you can take 2 steps forward.
Isso não é vergonha não.
And there's no shame in that.
Me reinventar aqui na América não foi fácil.
To reinvent myself here was not easy.
Digo para vocês que estão aqui pela primeira vez, ou para você que está começando agora,
I'll tell you, especially those of you who are here for the first time or starting right now in this career,
que começar uma nova carreira não é fácil.
to start a new career is not easy.
Mas eu garanto, é possível.
But I'll guarantee that it's possible.
Hoje eu posso dizer
Today I can say
que se reinventar profissionalmente também não é fácil.
that to reinvent yourself professionally is definitely not easy,
Mas também é possível.
but it's also possible.
E só é possível quando a gente tem 3 coisas importantes.
It's only possible if you have 3 important things.
Primeiro,
First,
a nossa coragem, a sua coragem tem que ser muito maior que o seu medo.
your courage has to be a lot bigger than your fear.
Segundo,
Second,
a sua resiliência
your resilience
tem que ser maior que os seus obstáculos.
has to be bigger than your obstacles.
E terceiro,
And third,
a sua fé tem que ser inabalável.
your faith has to be unshakable.
Com esses 3 ingredientes,
With those 3 things,
a gente consegue quase tudo.
we can do almost everything.
desde que seja a vontade de Deus.
as long as it's God's plan.
E hoje, eu faço uma pequena retrospectiva do meu passado, vejo todas as dificuldades que eu já passei.
Today I look back and I see all the difficulties that we've overcome.
Me vejo aqui diante, junto com vocês.
And I see myself right here in front of you.
Eu passo a acreditar que eu sou uma pequena semente.
I start to believe that there was only a little seed.
Uma pequena semente que foi plantada pelo maior agricultor.
A little seed that was planted by the biggest farmer.
Uma semente que é cultivada pelo nosso grande mestre.
But a little seed that is cultivated by our big master,
Jesus.
Jesus.
Queremos nisso. Nós podemos tudo, desde que seja a vontade dele.
We can do everything as long as it's His will.
Amen.
É isso aí, ó. Agora são 6h10 da noite. O nosso treinamento encerrou aí por volta, acho que era umas 4h40, 4h50 mais ou menos. E a gente viu muitos depoimentos, né? Como que é um evento só pra agentes mesmo aqui, a gente teve muitos testemunhos, né? Tivemos muitas dicas aí, que nem vocês viram nos vídeos aí. Nos vídeos, infelizmente, só deu pra colocar um trechinho de cada um, né? Dos speakers. Das pessoas que falaram, porque senão fica um vídeo muito longo, mas teve muito depoimento, teve muitos agentes blackjacks, bluejacks, greenjacks, enfim, que falaram sobre dicas, estratégias de como eles fazem, como que eles aplicam no dia a dia deles, e foi simplesmente transformador, emocionante demais, né, com tudo que aconteceu, com todas as pessoas, com todas as palavras de incentivo, de amor que a gente ouviu lá no treinamento de hoje. E agora, às 6h30, eu tô indo lá para baixo, porque no saguão, novamente, que a gente vai ter uma dinner, uma janta. Eu vou mostrar um pouquinho da janta para vocês, e depois tem o quê? Karaokê! É isso que eu tô falando. A gente pode ser muito mais produtivo e se divertindo. E aqui, na nossa profissão, como consultores da Five Rings. Are you guys going down?
Yeah.
All right. Excuse me. It's nice, right?
Yeah.
And this one's the 9, so you can see yourself. Have a great night, guys. Então, e vamos ter agora, como eu tava falando, nós agentes da Five Rings, a gente tem essa liberdade de poder, enquanto trabalha, enquanto estuda, se divertir também. Isso é muito importante. Tá aí, ó. O pessoal já tá tudo aqui. Se reuniu. É isso aí. Vamos lá. Daqui a pouco eu vou mostrar a janta, o que vai ter de bom. Isso aí.
Like I said, from Orlando, Florida, Alessandra and Raul Noguera.
Great results. This is what baby boomers, from baby boomers to millennials, this is what all of us aims for, right? And I'm pretty sure that this is totally possible to achieve great results. And we will share with you our how. But before that, let's talk about you guys, just a little bit. So, if you describe yourself using only one word, what would it be? Pause. Think about your word. Only one one word to describe yourself. Okay?
Well, probably gonna think something that is related to what you do well or something that you like to do.
Exactly. For instance, I like to teach and I like to make difference in people's life by talking. So I am a talkative person. I like to talk a lot.
Oh yes.
Give it up for Fabricio Mendoza.
Sorry, my American guys.
Am I on? Yeah.
My disease birthdays in Portuguese. 1 second. Bom dia.
Bom dia.
Não, é para os americanos, vocês portugueses, vocês brasileiros já sabem falar bom dia, por favor.
It's for
The American guys.
It's for the
Sorry.
Americans to repeat. Bom dia.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Meu nome é Fabrício Maresi Mendonça, eu sou do Brasil, tenho 40 anos de idade, estou chegando agora, logo no Blackjack, se Deus quiser. Estou aqui para falar...
Hold on.
É tranquilo tá aqui.
It's very easy. My name is Fabrício, I'm 40 years old. I'm from Brazil, and I am here to, I'm on my way to Blackjack.
You know, we have so many challenges. Is Sam in the room, by the way? Make sure Sam is right here. Sam or Howard, please. He has to be here. Okay, good. So the biggest challenge we may have sometimes is language barrier, right? So imagine this, 300 Brazilians in this room, 300 of us, and Sam Howell goes up in the stage and says, the squeaky eel gets the geese. And I'm thinking to myself, what does an eel eating geese has to do with us? And how, by the way, an eel can eat a bunch of geese? And I am Googling this and trying to figure out. Good job, Sam. It has everything to do with Alliance campaign. The squeaky eel eats the geese. Yeah, absolutely great. But anyways, how do you guys like Marina in the translation? I have a little translation for her. Because we speak Portuguese, but you guys don't know I speak Belenense, which is a Brazilian Portuguese from Belém, my hometown. And not everybody knows my language. So I'm going to read the little speech, how I introduced 5 Rings Financial to Marina. This is going to sound funny for Brazilians, so just for a second. Get ready. I'm just going to do that in Portuguese, you need to translate, okay?
Okay.
Vigia só, maninha, essa Flórida tá amontoada de brasileiro, tudo ralando pra cacete pra tentar ficar estripado. E os laranjas da competição são tudo mocinhos, sem noção. Não tem como vamos afiar o teçado e cair pra dentro do mato. A gente capina, sucupira, espanta a mucura que nós vamos ficar por Vamos! No final do dia nós vamos comer açaí, tucupita, capá e bacuri. Espanta os carapanã pra nós que não ser picado, senão vai ficar tudo empolado amanhã. There are some challenges in this career, and one of the challenges is a language barrier for sure. But the fact is, this is not the biggest challenge. For you to be successful as 5 Rings, by the way, you may want to run the clock because the jokes are over, so it's a presentation. One of the main challenges is belief. You know, the fact of the matter is, before you can act, before you can get speed, momentum, excitement, enthusiasm, experience, confidence, none of that is going to ever happen unless you believe. And believing is a challenging thing. First, you have to believe in yourself. Believe that you can actually do this, you can actually make it happen. But for us, for Brazilians, there is one extra level. It's believing in another Brazilian. See, one thing you guys don't understand is we lived in a country that was rimmed with corruption. where no matter how long ago you left Brazil, or no matter how long you lived in Brazil, somewhere, somehow, corruption has touched you. I remember my first encounter with corruption at age 15. I was robbed, waiting for the bus. The second time, I actually talked the robber not to rob me, so I actually corrupted him out of robbing me. The third time, the police officer stopped us and asked for money. Oh, that's corruption. When I was 18, my first job in college, I had to pay up this guy for him to approve our contract so we could actually get a library software that is free, provided by UNESCO, installed in his library system. When I got home from that day, I'm 18 years old and I told my dad, I said, Dad, I'm gonna have to leave. I cannot live in Brazil anymore. And I was 18. My dad was a very strict guy. He was completely against corruption, and he suffered through that process. So you leave your country and you come to this other country, and unfortunately you will find other Brazilians. They are want to take advantage of the new people. So there is a Brazilian taking advantage of another Brazilian, which pains me. The word that pains me the most is, I hate doing business with Brazilians. There is a Brazilian saying that to me.
Yes.
And I'm like, come on, man, my mother is a Brazilian, my father is a Brazilian, my wife is Brazilian, my brother is Brazilian, my family is Brazilian. You know there are good Brazilians, just like there are crooked Americans or crooked Indians or crooked anywhere. There is corruption anywhere in the planet. It's not about the culture, it's not about the language, it's not about where you came from. There is always good people and bad people no matter what. You cannot generalize by the color, by the country, by the race, by whatever they come. So we need to teach our people that lesson. So I'm very honored that I'm here with Americans, Brazilians, anywhere you guys are from, Mexicans, whatever. I'm very honored that you guys believe in us. I'm deeply honored that there are a lot of Brazilians here that believe in each other. And they believe in each other because they are depending on each other for this career. They are helping each other, they're supporting each other, they're making it happen. And that's what I love about Five Rings Financial. We believe in each other. We share ideas from the stage, we share ideas in the meetings, we can call on anyone, and I believe that if I call someone, if I call Jack tomorrow, he will help me. I believe that if I call anybody from this company, introduce myself as a member of Five Rings Financial, they will help me. They will believe in me. So that's the first thing you need to know. You need to believe in yourself, and we need to believe in each other. But then again, this is an amazing opportunity, an amazing career, and I heard here on the stage people saying it's almost too hard to believe, it's almost too good to be true. That was the way I was thinking when I started. So like, this sounds too good to be true. I mean, this kind of thing, that doesn't work, that doesn't exist. So you have to believe what you are offering your clients. You have to cross the barrier of belief of your life insurance with living benefits. Read the contracts. Understand that for this company, whatever company, National Life, Americas, Transamerica, whatever company, for them to issue a contract, when they deliver that policy, they are putting in your hands a promise, a contract. And even before that contract became available to the public, it was invented inside the corporation. It was analyzed by a team of lawyers. It was analyzed by a team of underwriters. It was analyzed by a team of the actuaries, calculating the math and probabilities and how this can work for the company to be profitable and be fair to the consumer. All of that is happening before they even go out of the door with that one contract. And they go out of the door and they have to approve that one contract in over, how many states? 50 states. Every single state in the United States has to review that freaking contract and approve it to be sold in that state. This is what you have to believe on when you deliver the policy. Never ever ask yourself, my God, are they gonna pay? Are they ever gonna pay this? Is this really for real? If it's written in there, they made a commitment to pay and they dare not break that contract because there's a lawsuit waiting to happen. And for these companies, they are not going to fight a lawsuit over $500,000. $500,000 is nothing over the reputation, a lawsuit, and everything they had to invest even before your piece of paper is delivered to someone. So believe the product. Believe the IUL product as well. For me, it was a challenge. I had to do a lot of research, read papers, look at the math, do the math, calculate. I was a day trader before 5 Rings. I spent a lot of time analyzing the pros and cons of these indexed products. At the end of the day, I had college research papers, master's degree thesis on IULs that I found online, and I researched and I bought it. I bought my first IUL. Not a small IUL, I should say. It was a pretty big case, and it was one for me and one for Marina. For about 2 or 3 years, we were the biggest case we ever sold. It was our own case. But now, my IUL bought my Porsche 911 with that cash, and I paid it back to my own policy. I'm reaping the rewards. My mom has an IUL, by the way. My mom has an IUL, and I was talking to her the other week, last week, and then she was like, I have to make that payment. I said, Mom, you know this is not just a payment, this is a savings account. I said, yeah, I have some money on my savings account, and she had over $100,000 on her savings account. And I said, that's horrible. It's just like, how come? I said, your plan made 10% last year. $100,000 is sitting in a savings account. If he was sitting inside that plan, he would make $10,000 in 1 year. It's just like, what? How can I put that money in there? So before it was a challenge for her to put that money, now she's like desperate to overfund the IUL. She's like, can I write that check? I want to write that check and get it done with. It's about believing the product. So you have to believe this is a product. We're not competing with the Bitcoins. We're not competing with the investment advisors. We are competing with savings account. We are giving them the guarantee of a floor of protection. Also about the insurance companies. You know, I'm very hard in memorizing ages and dates and whatever. I don't know how old these companies are. I just know they are old as dust, right? 178, 189. Every time I say the number, she corrects me. So I just decided to stop saying the number, ever. I was with Fred in Pennsylvania, and I said, you know what, Fred? Do you know that the company that has my plan is older than the Statue of Liberty? Wow. And he's like, really? I said, yeah. Oh, no, it's not. I said, just Google it. And he was like, do you know for sure? I said, I'm 99% sure. We went to research. National Life was founded 40 years before the Statue of Liberty. Emeritus, a year later. So think about that when you talk to your clients. This is a company that represents you. This is the company that's backing you up. Then you have to believe the people. Man, if you don't believe Mike Wilk, might as well leave. If you don't believe Mary, leave. If you don't believe Lee Duncan, the Alliance Group, everybody that is behind these companies, I mean the Jake and the guys from National Life, Miron Asadi has been in our meetings, training with us, sitting with us. If you don't believe these people, there's nothing else I can do to help you. You have to come out of this meeting today with a strong, rock solid belief in this is a business that's gonna last for the rest of your life. Because honestly, if you believe this is gonna run out, you are so unlucky. I mean, how can the business that's been going on for before the Statue of Liberty all of a sudden stop? Right when it's your turn. Man, that's so unlucky, right, Bia? So keep that in mind. But next time you believe this is true. This is too good, and it is true. Not only too good to be true. It is too good, and it is true. So do you know how we do that? Just believe. When you invite someone to go to Money 101, believe that you have something amazing to offer them that nobody else has. That's what you need to get out of here with. But also, if you really want to sell life insurance, really want to sell more life insurance, you need to learn to build. I don't care, I'm not going to teach you about selling. You know already how to sell, otherwise you wouldn't be here. What you need to know is how to build. So I'll have the top builder in my organization teach you what we do for our recruiting side. So with you, Marina. She doesn't have to teach, she couldn't translate my Portuguese. By the way, the letter is here for her to translate.
That was too much, too fast. Okay, so you all know, if you've heard me talk for a few times, that when I get right up here, I start talking about the how to do things. I like to teach you how to do things and process and methods. But also, before I do that, a very good book has been written called Start with Why. right? So before we start talking about the hows, and there's going to be a lot of hows in my presentation. You stay there. I'll see. Let's talk about why. Why do you want to sell? Why do you sell life insurance? Think about it for just like 5 seconds. Why do you sell life insurance and tax-free retirement, for that matter, right? Why do you sell the products that you sell? I'm sure that everybody here in this room, you wouldn't be here if you didn't have that why very clear. Even if you don't have a personal experience like Beatriz or Natalia or even Lee Duncan, you know very well why these products are important for our clients, and that's why you're here to bring them to the marketplace, right? So if you know why, now let me ask you, how much life insurance do you want to sell? And tax-free retirement, okay? Products. I'll just say life insurance. How much of it do you want to sell? How much is it possible to sell? Well, if you are a very good agent, 100 policies a year is above average. You know, when you go to the Alliance conventions, they give special prizes like, you know, a plaque or something for people who sold over 100 policies a year. And I think in Aruba, maybe they gave out 10, maybe not even 10, definitely less than 15. Of all the qualifiers, less than 15 sold over 100 policies a year. The Jews of the world are freaks. 200 plus it's superhuman. It's not the average, okay? So a good agent, very, very good agent, let's say, can sell 100 policies a year. Now, an agency, on the other hand, our agency puts in the hands of clients almost 400 policies a month. Almost 400 policies a month. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get close to 5,000 policies delivered this year. Now, what is the size of the impact that you want? 100 in a year or 5,000 in a year? Now, the only way to get to 5,000 and more is through building, like he said. No, I loved the analogy of the hours. So if you think of the Brazilians right now as one entity, like one superhuman agent that has around 4,000 hours in a day.
Yeah,
putting
that's our
out policies and helping people. I love the analogy of the hours. So, but let's go to the how. How do you build? Let's first talk about the difference between building and recruiting, right? Recruiting is great, is the first step. But building means, you know what building means? Building means that you create VCPs. Who remember the VCPs from Leadership Retreat like a bunch of years ago? You are all VCPs. Michelle remembers, Mary remembers. You're all VCPs. A very capable person. Until the people in your agency are capable, they are not gonna get any results. They are not gonna put the plans in the hands of people. And when I say capable, it's not capable of designing the complex plans, capable of explaining how the engine of the IOL works, capable of any of that. It's capable of taking action. Capable of taking action even when they don't know how the engine of the IOL works. Capable of taking action and getting in front of people, because all this means nothing if you don't get in front of people, even though they don't know everything. And how do you do that? Your job as a leader is to help people do what they wouldn't normally do by themselves. Normally because it's outside of their comfort zone. Normally because it hurts a little bit, just because they haven't done it before. Your job is to help them do it. They wouldn't do it without you. And how do you make them overcome that discomfort? You give them the tools. But you have to give them simple tools. Do you give your kid the hammer? The real hammer? No. Do you get somebody who just started working in the warehouse to drive the forklift? No. You give them simple tools that they can't hurt themselves with. And basically, the tools have to go through 3 filters. They look at the tool and they say, oh, that's simple. And then they look at it again and they say, oh, I think that would work. And then finally they look at it and they say, well, I think I can do it. That is a tool for a beginner or for somebody who is at any new level. They're beginning at that level. It's gotta be simple. It has to be that simple. I think it will work, and I think I can do it. And one of the reasons why I think and finally, you have to make them use the tool, right? It's not look at the tool, but then use the tool, right? And I think that has been something that has made a huge difference for us is when we started this process of the fast track. The fast track is our beginner's class. So anybody who is just joining any of the agencies is hearing that you must be at the fast track. The fast track runs every month. Every month, it just starts again. It's every Tuesday from 7 to 8:30, and you have to be there. If you're a beginner, you must be there. You can be there as many times as you want, but if you're a beginner, you must be there. And we have VPs that are in the class all the time because they still get value out of it, and they also help us with the group and with all the beginners. So basically, the goal of the fast track is to introduce the tool and to help them use. So, what is the tool? The tool is a script to invite to the event. Because what is the first thing that the beginner has to do to get some results and to get in front of people without knowing anything? Inviting to Money 101, right? So the tool is for them to invite. So we get to fast track and we talk a little bit about basic things, why it's important to invite, and then we talk about field training and MSP and all that. There's always a little component of a tip and an understanding of where they landed. But then it's like, here's the tool, here's how it works, and let's use it. Let's use it now because our script is simple, it's via text, and at the end of the session, we just get to doing it. Let me tell you a little math about what that's been doing. The very last session of the fast track last Tuesday, we did 181 invitations at the end of the class. There must have been like 70 some people at the class, something like that, and then we put out 181 invitations. Now, we have basic 5 rings math that we all understand, and if we apply that math to that number of people, and I pre-did the math for you, but 181 invitations should and would and will, because math never fails you, it will result in at least 50 policies.
And we did the same the week before.
The week before we had 173 or 63 or something. So we're putting out over 100, almost 170, 180 invitations every week, and that is pretty much guaranteed to turn into 50 policies. 50 life insurance, 50 tax-free retirements, 50 of the things that you said in the beginning that you wanted to sell more. Can you though sell 50 a week? No. You can only do that by getting a lot of people doing a little. Nobody invited 30 in that class. We challenge them and we encourage them to invite 5. But if they invite 3, we don't make them feel bad. Sometimes they invite 8. Nobody invites 30 at the class. But you know what they do? They invite more during the week because now they know how to use the tool. And I'm not even counting those that happen between meetings, because they now know how to use the simple tool and they can do it by themselves whenever they can.
And by the way, in case you guys are wondering, and I imagine you are, I hope you are, do you guys have a fast track in English? And the answer is yes, we do. Thanks to Claudia Ferrybach and Mary Fisher, they run a fast track in English every week, right? For every month. So you want to know how to get there, how to get connected, talk to both of those ladies and they will help you get that set up. The bottom line is, get people to do what Marina just said. As long as they understand that it's easy, it might work, and I can do it, then they will do it if you support them and provide the environment to do it. And that has been one of the game changers for us.
And you do it together. I think it really helps that when we are there in the Zoom together, everybody is doing it. There's a little bit of that effect of safety in numbers, right? And then when everybody is doing the same thing, people who normally, if their first invitation had to be by themselves when life is all around them and there's a laundry to do and the kid tugging at their pants and all that, they might not have done it. But they dedicated the time to be there. Everybody's doing it. Wow, I'm gonna do it too. And the script is so intimidating. It starts like, hey friend, how are you? Who can do that? Anybody can do that.
Awesome. Well, believe in yourself, believe it's possible, believe you are at the right place at the right time, and let's just go do it. Thank you guys.
Partner, and I have a partner that I get to share all my insanity with, and trust me. So she's absolutely a trooper, fights hard, loves the company, loves all of you. So just to say a few words before we close today, I want to introduce my wife, Monica Will.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Insanity, you have no idea. But it's all good. Mike asked me to come up and speak, and then I got up here and he looked at my page like, what the heck? I just asked you to say a few words. But was this awesome or what? It was amazing. What about the speakers?
Trainer, he went into private practice, but he's tired of private practice, so he wants to be a trainer again. About a year ago, he offered himself a chance he wanted me to hire him, let's put it that way. And he's a really good guy, except there's a reason why he got fired from his other job, and that wouldn't work out here very well. So we didn't accept that offer. Well, he's now come up with a brainchild idea of creating a portal that's a training portal to help people sell annuities. He proclaims to be a $70 million producer that's doing all this business, and he's got all these trainings on video, and we can watch it virtually, and it's awesome, and it's unbelievable. It's $50,000 a year or $100,000 a year, depending on how much access we want to it. Well, he sent me a test copy of his portal, and I called him back and I said, you gotta understand, Jason, we have every one of those videos on our portal already and we give it away for free. I said, we've been doing this for years and years and years, and I said, well, I appreciate the offer, but it just doesn't have, but it is advertising. It was all about how the difference between the people that are doing it and the people that aren't are these systems and these videos and all this kind of stuff, and he was dead wrong. I'm gonna show you in just a minute how wrong he is and how serious, if you're serious about building a business, there's a real secret to success, at least in our model. It may not be in everybody else's model, but in the model of 5 rings, there's an absolute secret to success for sure. By the way, and I forgot to make this announcement, if you were invited to the Qualified Black Jacket meeting, and you know who you are if you were invited, you got emails and letters that you didn't read, so that's why I'm making this announcement. We have to meet at 2:30 in the lobby out here with your suitcases ready to load on the bus, okay, for the Qualified Black Jackets who are invited to the Qualified Black Jacket meeting. All right, so on the stage right here, folks, well, let's take a step back. I do these meetings. Sam Brooks just came up to me and said, you ever get tired of these meetings? And I'm like, nope, as long as I keep making millions of dollars a year, I'm into these meetings forever, okay? And but I thought about that, and I thought, because this happens so much where I see people come to these meetings, and I get this phrase a lot. I had a blast, had a lot of fun. Don't know if I learned very much, actually, and I don't know if I learned very much. But let me ask you, let's just do the product training right now. I'm going to get this over with really quickly, okay? There's a product out there where you can take a small amount of money and leverage it into like hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars in case you die early, and that product is called? Life insurance, wow, you guys, that's awesome training. Okay, so then there's a product where you can save money underneath the umbrella of a life insurance policy, and it's got a catchy name. It's kind of like a Roth IRA in steroids, and it's actually called a IUL. Oh my gosh, you guys are so smart. You guys have this. How about there's a product where you can put money away that acts like a pension. It's a lifetime income plan where when you retire, you can turn on the faucet, you get income for life, you can never lose any money. That's called a... See, you know everything you already need to know to make a fortune in this business. You can waste all your time going to these meetings where they tell you all this stuff inside out and wear you out with all that stuff, and you'll be broke like all the rest of the people in this industry who are smart and knowledgeable but don't know how to get in front of people. The secret sauce at 5 Rings is we found a way to get in front of an unlimited number of people in an unbelievable system and way. What you have in front of you, folks, are the highest earning people in our company. There isn't anybody at this stage that's not, we don't talk about this a lot. We don't want to do the smoke and the mirrors and the blue sky and the, buy the fancy cars and the show the dream vacations and the $1 million homes. We have all those, but we don't talk about that as a tool. You saw, I hope, the last 2 days that people are speaking from their heart about changing people's lives and what an incredible opportunity that is. But the result is we do succeed in a tremendous way financially also. And we all join to make money and build a career here and be rewarded handsomely for that. But these are our highest earning people in the company, okay? There's anybody up here not making at least $500,000 a year. $500,000 a year, folks, not $500,000 in a lifetime, $500,000 a year. There are people on this stage making $750,000 a year. There's a couple of people making over $1 million, and somebody on this stage that probably will make $1.5 million this year. That's a lot of money, would you agree? They have one thing in common. They have one thing in common. Now look at them. Do they all look alike? Are they all beautiful? Or do they all, well, first of all, do they all look alike? Thank God. Are they all the same age?
No.
Are they all male?
No.
Are they all female? No. There's some immigrants up here?
Yes.
Some Americans? Yeah, some older, younger, you see from all sizes, all sizes, shapes, backgrounds, all sorts of things, right? Here's the common denominator. Rickson and Bianca, so far, have recruited over 2,500 people in their agency since they started here. Gustavo and Marina have recruited over almost 4,000 people. Mary has recruited over 4,500 people. Jack's recruited just under 3,000 people. Mark and Betty, 3,500 people. Mar and Andre, 3,500 people. Chris and Denise, 4,000. Lyle and Tina, over 5,500 people. This is what they have in common. That's the way we get in front of unlimited numbers of people. Now, I know there are some of you out here who have joined us to make a fantastic part-time income, and this is not your dream. Okay, I get that, and we love you, and we need that. And the people who make a fantastic part-time income and make 8 sales a year or 10 sales a year, that's the real foundation piece of our company, and we love that, and it changes their life in a huge way. But there's a handful out here, I know there's a handful of you out here that want to be on this stage with that group of people who have the dream and the vision to make something great happen and build a company within a company, to build an empire, to change your lives and your children's lives and your children's children's lives. And this is the way you do it. Now, when I say those numbers, they sound unbelievable, right? Well, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, I can't do that. The average number of recruits in Lyle and Tina's organization for the last 17 years is 23 per month. You're telling me you can't build an agency that recruits 23 people a month? I don't believe it. I think you can. And you're like, well, 17 years, that's forever. Tell me what you're going to do the next 17 years that's going to produce the kind of lifestyle and the income that Lyle and Tina have right now. It will change your life forever. This is not get restricted. You have to have an attitude and an understanding that this is how the model works. And so you have to put your recruiting helmet on. You got to put your radar up all the time and listen for people. The statistics don't lie. What Marina just said, math doesn't lie. They do these research things all over the United States every year, and they tell you that over 90% of the people in America are dissatisfied with their job and they hate working where they work. How in the world are we not recruiting 10,000 people a month? I don't understand it. I literally can't understand it. With the opportunity we have, with the way you feel about our company and how awesome it is to be around each other, it seems to me like we should be recruiting tens of thousands of people a month to me. But You have to make a decision to go that direction. And you're going to make a lot of sales while you do it. These are also, by the way, our top personal producers. Isn't that amazing that our top recruiters also end up being the top personal producers in our company year in and year out? And that's because they have to field train all these people that they recruit. This is the system that is literally making us grow 60% a year, while most of the industry is in decline constantly because they're not recruiting new people. They just keep recruiting other people's people. We're bringing new people into the city, dreamers, fantastic people who want to do something awesome with their life, be something bigger, be part of something bigger than themselves. That's what this is all about. Like I said, if you're content making 100 grand a year and you don't want a big agency and you're fine with that, we love you, we appreciate you, we want all that to happen. But I'm telling you, I know, I can sense it, I can feel it. There's somebody in this room, there's a few people in this room that want to beat the Brazilianaires. Okay, not to beat them because you want to hurt them or anything like that, but you're a competitor. And you're like, I think I can beat these suckers. Let me tell you something. If I was in this room a few years ago, I am not going to sit here and watch that. I'm going to go home and formulate a plan to kick their rear end, man. I'm going to show them what Americans can do, right? Anybody interested in doing it? You don't have to raise your hand. You know how you do it? I can show you. This is the easiest thing to do. Out-recruit them for the next 10 years, and you will surpass their numbers. Plain and simple. They're the most talented people I've almost ever seen in my entire life, but if you out-recruit them, you will out-earn them. You'll outbuild an agency. That's just the way it works. An army of 10 cannot beat an army of 1,000. But an army of 1,000 can't beat an army of 10,000. And an army of 10,000 can't beat an army of 100,000. It's really a numbers situation. We're the direct selling industry. It's the way it works. And so you have to adjust your thinking cap a little bit, okay? Like I said, this is only for the people who want to be multimillionaires here, okay? I apologize to all the rest of you who just want to be millionaires. But all of you who want to be multimillionaires, this is the name of the game. This is how it works. The reason why we brought you here is to show you what's possible, what can happen. You got to see 20 or 25 incredible people over the last couple of days. Like I said, they don't all look alike, they don't all dress alike, they don't all sound the same, they don't have the same ages, the same backgrounds, all those types of things. But they're all winning. And they're all winning because they got on the model, stayed on the model, and they're making it happen in a gigantic way. So you can stay up here, thank you very much, but I just want to finish now.
Don't have to stay up here.
What? You can stay up here, yeah. Nobody else can, but you can. No, you can all stay up here. I'm almost done. Sorry I got off on a rant there, but I'm telling you, I sat out there, and the reason why Gustavo and Marina are doing what they're doing right now is not because they're Brazilian. I'm telling you, that drives me crazy when I hear that the reason why they're doing is because they're immigrants and they're Brazilian. The Brazilians are fantastic people, but they are out recruiting everybody else in the company 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 30 to 1. That's the name of the game. And if we got some Chinese people that would join us and they'd out recruit the Brazilianaires, the Chinese group would be bigger than the Brazilianaire group. It's just the way it works. And so I don't want you to use that as an excuse. Gustavo and Marina are giving you all these tools to help you expand your business. What you have to do is just go meet more people. And like Jack said, everything we went through this last 2 days means nothing if we don't get in front of people. Nothing at all. We've mastered the art of getting in front of people, and you have to master that yourself personally. Last thing I want to do is thank everybody like Monica did, but I want to thank Haley and Denise. Where's Haley and Denise? Let's wave, everybody. Thank Haley and Denise. You know, I had somebody come talk to me right at the break, and they said, you know what, if you've never been in this industry before, you would have no idea how awesome it is to work at Five Rings and have that administrative staff behind you, because they have no perspective. Anybody who's been in this industry for a while knows how spectacular of a back office they build and what they do to help us keep doing what we're doing. The National Life Group, Lindsay and Jake and Peter, thank you so much for being here. We love you guys.
Viram só que evento incrível que a gente acabou de ter. Parabéns a todo mundo que foi convidado. Se você foi convidado esse ano, você não pode perder ano que vem, porque cada ano é melhor. E se você acabou de começar ou ainda não pegou esse convite, ano que vem você tem que estar lá.
É isso aí, galera.
Aí.
Nos vemos ano que vem lá. Até mais.